What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about Stefon Diggs and the Baltimore Ravens. Before I get into anything, play the clip.
Keenum's going to try to work the ball on the boundary. Keenum steps into it. Pass is caught. Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable! Vikings win it!
Now, if that's not one of the best football plays you ever seen, I don't know what to tell you. But let's start off the video. Today we're talking about Stefon Diggs and all the trade rumors revolving all around his name. Well, now that the season is officially over and it's time for the off season and all the stories coming out of it to start, as of just a couple days ago, the trade rumors for Stefon Diggs have started swirling up again. Early in the season, trade rumors surrounding Stefon were all over the league, but with Minnesota starting off hot, winning their first 6 out of 8, it died down. But with Stefon voicing his frustrations about the offense and even showing his frustration with him visibly angry on the sideline in the wildcard game, and just recently he's been posting some cryptic tweets but can't really put a meaning behind any of them, but it's pretty obvious he definitely tends to have frustrations about their offense and that franchise. We also have seen Adam Thielen call out his starting quarterback Kirk Cousins in the middle of the season, so there must be some dysfunctions going on over there and it may be time to split things up. And in my eyes, this would be a match made in heaven for the Ravens. Now, coming off the Ravens' devastating divisional round loss, it's pretty clear to see what the problem was in that game. There was a whole lot of drops going on in that game, not only coming from one receiver, but from the collective group. So, honestly, the main problem the Ravens had in that game was from the receivers. Of drops all over the place and only one productive receiver in Hollywood Brown. The Ravens didn't really have that go-to receiver that they went to when they needed to play, like a Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, guys like those. Now the Ravens could really use a receiver like Stefon Diggs. Great route runner, great hands, he makes contested catches. He's aggressive. He makes yards after the catch, and he's a real deep threat. And as you know, they don't really have that elite type of receiver yet. The Ravens, as they drafted Hollywood to be that. He was hurt all year, so maybe we should get him some help beside him and take a lot of pressure off him with him. Because realistically, when teams line up and they're looking at the receivers, the biggest threat at the receiver position is Hollywood. Not Woody Snead, not Seth Roberts. I'm not worried about none of those guys. They're really worried about Hollywood. So you get a guy like Stefon Diggs, you put that guy beside Hollywood, and then you really have to game plan for Stefon Diggs as the number one receiver. And then you have Hollywood that's going to be able to take the top off on the next side. And you have the reliable tight ends all inside. So it makes it a really balanced passing situation. Now, in my personal opinion, Stefon Diggs is a top 5 receiver in the game, like it or not, but that's just my personal opinion. But realistically, to the public, he's definitely a top 10 receiver, and adding a top 10 receiver on your team will always help, especially when you have the best run offense in the history of football, and then you add a top 10 talent at the wideout position to really stretch the defense even more to make it that more of a threat. That could just do a lot of good things for your offense. Now, this is really the dream scenario for the Ravens, simply off the fact that they have a very good team, they have a very good young core, and a lot of their players they're under contract for the next 3 to 4 years, and there's not a lot of moves that the Ravens need to make at all. And just this little move for Stefon Diggs could just put them over the hump and Super Bowl right there, just like that. Now, Stefon Diggs is a great player, and he's going to a great offense, a great situation. I think it'll benefit both Stefon Diggs and the Ravens tremendously. Now, this move makes so much sense for the Ravens because you're not giving up a lot. I'm pretty sure that all Minnesota is asking for is just a first-round pick. That's really doable for a great talent like that, and it makes the most sense because the Ravens don't need a lot of needs, and this is probably the only offseason move they would really have to make that would really benefit their team and have a big impact on them. Adding Stefon Diggs would really make opposing defenses game plan for like a pick your poison type of game plan, do we want to come in here and stop the run and let them pass all over us, or do we want to go down there and stop the pass and let them run all over us. Because with Stefon Diggs in the lineup, they could do everything on offense at a high level. And it's really a pick your poison situation because there's no way you're going to be able to stop all of that. So you're going to have to pick one and just live and die with the end result. Now, obviously, the Ravens are a great offense, but they're a real, like I said before, they're the best run offense that we've ever seen in NFL history. They like to manage the clock, hold on to the ball, have long drives, wear down the defense. The thing where the Ravens lack is the reason why they lost that game in the divisional round, because they got down to a lead early in the game and they don't really know how to play from behind. They're not that high explosive offense that could come score at any time. They can score at any time, but not amongst the ranks of the Kansas City Chiefs, the prime Atlanta Falcons. They can't get points on the board just like that. And adding Stefon Diggs, that gives you the ability to play from behind with him and Hollywood Brown on the next side. And then you have your tight ends who are all great, 3 reliable tight ends. That gives you a real threat in the pass game and makes defenses worried.